is this fight at the front through the fast sweeping section here in Mandalika. They've just come through turn 9 in the hard braking zone at turn 10. This is where we've seen most of the action between the pair so far. Pratama losing the lead a couple of times down at turn 10, but he's managed to hang in around the outside at turn 11 and get up the inside at turn 12. It looks, for all intents and purposes, on this lap he's managed to hold the lead through this section so far. Matani has lost P3 once again to Hafi. We did mention this is going to change lap by lap, corner by corner, and that's exactly what is happening.
Yeah, as that final podium place, I should say, changes hands, it's going to bring the likes of Poetas and Nicholas back into it after Hafai and Mitani had opened up a little bit of a gap. So the riders behind them will be hoping that podium battle continues. While out front, I don't think anybody's going to come close to Pratama and Odaki. It's all between these two for victory. Over a 9-second gap to the chasing pack with the number 14 now. Will he get a move? It's into the slipstream. Will he line up a move here? I don't think he's going to be close enough, but he's happy maybe just to hold on and judge Pratama's riding style around some of the popular overtaking spots and line up a move a little later in the race. We predicted Pratama might just escape. He has done that, but we didn't really predict that somebody would go with him. We thought it might turn into a bit more of a group battle, but Odaki really has got the hooks into the Indonesian rider.
Nice slow-mo replay coming up then. The riders coming out of turn 16, hard on the braking zone, the penultimate corner, and then hard on the braking zone, hard on the brake, sorry, again into turn 17, the left-hander that brings you on to the front straight here in Mandalika, and then get tucked up behind the ball, get on the power as early as possible. As down into turn 10 again we come. No move this time around for Odaki, but the pair of them set their personal best laps of the race, which of course, in Odaki's case, by 7 1,000ths of a second, sorry, is the fastest lap of the race, and these guys are nearly 10 seconds clear of this group here, the chasing pack, that have closed together once more, and again it is Matani who leads the way in third place in this quartet, squabbling away. Got mixed between a couple of words there. Yeah, squabbling away for the final place on the podium. And just like that, we'll be coming around to complete another lap, which means there will only be 4 laps to go. We saw back in Japan that Pratama, this was the stage of the race where he decided, right, I'm going to pull the pin. Admittedly, he was in a bigger group than this and he wasn't leading the race, but this is the sort of area, the sort of part of the race where we do see Pratama this year especially just eke out those extra tenths of a lap and eventually go on to win the races. So this is important for Odaki to just keep hanging on to the rear end of Pratama, see where he's strong, see where maybe Odaki's got a little bit in hand. So far though, so good for the number 14 rider. He's going to tuck up into the slipstream. As we mentioned previously, all this section, the fast sweeping right-handers and the left kink at turn 8 is full power on these little Honda machines, the 250 NSF-Rs, and Odaki's got a great run then out of turn 9. He pulls up out of the slipstream on the inside of Pratama. Not quite this time around. Pratama very, very good on the brakes. As you can see, they're slightly quicker on that final lap, but you can see from your screens there's pretty much nothing between them.
Yeah, absolute tit for tat out front as far as Hafai is still in the lead here, the number 19, and the lead of this podium battle, I should say, with Zen Matani just following in behind. Raykat Fadila and Jakrapet Puetasan still with hopes, still harbouring ambitions of a late charge as the number 14, here we go, he's got the move up the inside. Brilliant, brilliant stuff, and he's opened up a little bit of a gap with that. Will he make it stick? Will he hold that gap around? Tight line adapted around here as we're about to clock off. Another lap, swing it left and a run to the line here. Will Pratama get into the slipstream and have an instant response? He has on several occasions so far, anytime Odaki has thrown something at him. So we'll see what happens coming into turn 1, but don't expect that to be the final overtake of this race. Odaki then takes it a little bit wider, but holds on to the lead as he's just set a new fastest race lap, I think. He has indeed, a 1:42.561. Brilliant stuff from the Japanese rider. And a 4-way fight, 4 abreast coming in here behind them, but it is Zen Matani who holds on to the lead. Farish Hafai has conceded 4th place to Raykat Fadila, with Puetasan still at the back of this group.
The battle raging on then for the final spot on the podium, but what a lap that was from Adaki on lap 11 of 15. Of course, we're on lap 12 of 15 now, setting an all-time lap record here in the Asia's Talent Cup around Mandalika. It was getting very, very close between the top two, so I'd like to try and see whereabouts they are on circuit and how close they are at the minute. Through the first split, it was a couple of attempts, and I can confirm Adaki is still leading, and he's gained a tenth as well on Pratama. So another good lap coming in halfway round from Adaki as we keep focusing on the podium fight. Matani just losing a couple of places. That's not what he needs to do, down to 5th place. So an important 2.5 laps coming up for Matani, who, remind you, is 3rd in the championship standings. Here they are then, the race leaders. 13 seconds clear, well over 13 seconds clear now of the chasing group. Adaki has shown that Pratama has got a race on his hands. If Pratama didn't know that already, I'm sure he did. He definitely knows it now. 2 laps to go. Race 1 here in the Asia Talent Cup in Indonesia. We've got a Japanese rider out front, the number 7 of Pratama, an Indonesian racing for home victory. He did that a couple of times last year, did the number 7. Thought about a move down at turn 1, but got out of the bubble nice and early, brakes nice and early. He looks pretty comfortable, does the number 7 of Pratama down there. Didn't want to lead, didn't want to risk maybe going on to the penultimate lap, but it's going to be health or leather between those two riders on the last couple of laps.
Yeah, Eamon Odaki out to spoil the homecoming of Veda Pratama, just like the Indonesian rider did to him back in Japan, back in Motogp, but it's Odaki out front. Pratama is all over that rear wheel of the Japanese rider. Where is he going to make a move here, Al? I'm not quite sure. Will he? Well, here we go. He's going to get up the inside. Will he make it stick, or will Odaki block pass, and he forces him wide? Well, we've seen these two come together before, only a couple of weeks ago. Eamon Odaki's not going to like that, but Pratama now has a half-second advantage out front. What can Odaki do here with just under a lap and a half to go?
Yeah, that was close down at turn 10, a little bit too close for comfort, and look what it means for the race. Pratama up the inside of Odaki. We're going to get a replay of it, I'm sure, here. So Pratama then in the slipstream pulls out of the right kink at turn 9 into turn 10, up the insides. Difficult to see what quite went wrong there. Pratama obviously running a little bit wide, and Odaki on the outside with nowhere really to go, and Pratama runs Odaki slightly wide, and he's opened up a gap. Well, we'll get it across the line. We're starting the final lap here. Race 1 in Mandalika. The number 7 of Pratama, the home hero, has a half a second lead heading on to the final lap from Odaki. What can Odaki do? It's an uphill struggle now, though, for the number 14 heading on to the final lap. Pratama got the job done. Maybe harsh but fair. Who knows? We'll unpick it after the race down at turn 10, but a huge final lap coming up.
Yeah, half a second between them, while Zen Matani looks to have pulled a couple of tenths out of his back pocket as they come across the line in the podium battle. Can anyone catch the young Japanese rider? It's currently Puetasan who is leading the charge ahead of Hafai and Fadila, but back out front it's all about Pratama and Odaki. Odaki is going to look to really reel it in here, but I think Pratama's going to have to make a mistake somewhere to give the Japanese rider a chance. Just over half a lap remaining.
The number 11 of Chavan, who unfortunately crashed out earlier on, is going to get hopefully out of the way of this battle, but Odaki has closed down then in the first sector. It's gone from half a second down to a couple of tenths of a second, so maybe a bit of slipstream coming into play through the opening section, the fast sweeping section, and Odaki, as you can see, is right on the coattails now of Pratama, the number 7.
Coming into the final sector now, Odaki is all over him. Will he get his opportunity? He's going to have a couple of passing opportunities coming through the final sector. I don't know if he's going to do it, but he's definitely got more tense. He's got a better pace coming into the final corners.
He's going to give it a go, Chris. He's going to give it a go. Up the inside
and
goes
there
Odaki,
he goes.
But Pratama's going to fight back up the inside then. 15 and 16. It's turn 16, the contact.
Oh, touched again.
He's out of the seat. Oh, he came close as well. Pratama then is going to round the final corner here. And Indonesia, oh, he nearly took to the front at the final corner. He nearly throws it away. Adaki's going to try and get a run on him on the run to the line, but it's only a short run to the line. And it is victory for Pratama on home turf ahead of Adaki. What a race between the top two. And it is going to be Matani, the number 2, who is going to take the final position on the podium by the looks of it. A great race for the number 2. Standing on the podium, that's exactly what I needed to do with Pratama winning. But what a race out front. A little bit of drama on the closing lap. Adaki did oh so well to close.